Hi. This is one of my videos that hopefully is a little bit light-hearted, but talks about a bit of a serious topic as well. This is one of my memories from one of the classes I taught in England. I've been a teacher for quite a number of years, and I taught in England for over 15 years within mainstream education. Now I'm working abroad in international schools, but this particular memory and some others that I'll think of came into my mind the other day, and I wanted to just recount it and look at this particular episode in my life that stuck out in my memory. So it's a inner city high school where I was teaching. I was at that particular school for over 8 years. It was a very challenging school. It used to be an all-girls school. Then it changed to like a mixed school. Whilst it was an all-girls school, it had very, very challenging students coming from all types of backgrounds, mainly very, poor, impoverished backgrounds, very illiterate backgrounds, quite a lot of generations of families struggling, to get by day to day. And this particular class, I taught them for English, okay? And the person I'm thinking about, she was probably about 12, maybe 13 years old at the time. And I remember teaching the lesson, having the work on the board, and realizing that this student had been staring at me for some time. Now, obviously, some students, you get used to them. They go off into a little like dream world, fantasy land. This particular student, she was staring at me hardcore in the face. And I didn't know whether she was just like off in la la land, or whether she just was confused about the work or was worried or whatever it was. So I'm going to use her name in this, but I said to her, "Vanessa, are you okay?" And her response was, obviously she didn't hear me first time, so I must have said it a couple of times, like, "Vanessa, are you okay? Do you understand the work, what we're doing? Do you need any help?" And the other students obviously heard what I'd said. And one of them like nudged her in the elbows and went, "Here, Mrs. talking to you." So she suddenly sort of like woke up and startled and was like, What? "Mrs. talking to you. You better listen. Miss wants you." So she looked at me with this like stern, hard look, and I just looked at her back and said, "Vanessa, is everything okay?" Because obviously we had to be careful. As a teacher, you might have safeguarding issues, child protection issues. There might be things going on at home. She might be just troubled. You don't know. You don't know what anything can happen. And she just continued to like look at me and look at my face. And she was looking especially like down my chin and my neckline. That particular day, I had been wearing like a white blouse. I'd got a jacket on, but she was staring at my jacket, and especially like the collar line that sort of sits there. So she said to me, "Miss, yeah, can I ask you something?" "Of course you can, Vanessa. What is it?" "Miss, I don't want you to think I'm stupid or all, but I want to know." So I'm thinking in my head, here we go. It's going to be one of those random questions that's either going to make me laugh, or I'm going to cry because I'm upset. I wasn't that type of teacher, to be fair, but it could go either way. So I thought, right, let's just see what she's going to say. So I let her continue. The room goes silent at this point. She went, "Miss, I want to ask you something." I said, "I know, Vanessa, you've just said that to me. So what's your question?" "Miss, how do you not get your fake tan all over your blouse?" And I just froze for quite some time. And I thought, I need to think about this response. I need to think about what I'm going to say to her. And I need to obviously structure it very, very carefully to the point where she understands where I'm coming from. So I looked at her. I didn't laugh in her face. I didn't respond in a rude way. I was just shocked that she hadn't figured out that I was not applying fake tan on my body, that this glow, that this skin, this tan, sometimes in certain climates, my skin can go very, very olivey and can be darker, obviously, and it looks really like a tan. Sometimes my skin colour, depending on the country again, will go back to being pale. It just depends, obviously, how much time I've spent in the sun. But the fact that she had asked me this like particular question, and I just looked at her and said, "What fake tan, Vanessa?" "Well, that fake tan that you've got on your face, if you look, miss." "Yeah, miss, I know I'm not being rank and that, but on your body and that, have you not got it on your blouse? If you look at me, I've got it all over, miss. I've got it all over, just look." And she showed me the collar of her actual school blouse. Now, at that time, and I'm sure it's still going on, girls were going through this phase of literally having fake tans, making their face what I would call Oompa Loompa look. And it was like from here down to the neckline, you would see it, whether it was makeup sometimes or fake tan, it would be orange, and I mean orange, bright orange. And then their natural tan, their natural skin colour would be there. So if they were white as anything, it would be very, very pale. Okay, so even on my neckline, you can see there's a little bit of a difference there from my face to my neck. But I was just like stunned that she thought I was not of a different minority or different ethnicity to her. She was white, she was British, I'm British as well, but I'm ethnic minority. But I was stunned that she hadn't clicked in her head that obviously I'm of a different ethnic group and I wasn't using fake tan. So my response to her was this: "Vanessa, there are some people in this world that are born with a different skin colour. Sometimes it goes from very pale to very, very dark. Sometimes it can be in the middle. Sometimes it can be a mixture, depending on who the mum and the dad is of the family. And it also depends on the gene pool in the family as well. Depends, by that I mean the grandparents and where the grandparents might have come from or travelled from. But the skin colour that you see on me, the reason it's not rubbing off on my top or whatever is because I don't use a fake tan. I was born this way. And my parents also are same. And even if you were to hold my hand or to have a look at my body, as in my arms, my legs, even if I was to touch you, that tan wouldn't, wash off. If anything, sometimes it gets darker and sometimes it changes colour. And depending on how much time you spend in the sun, some people's skin changes, some people's doesn't. But this is natural. This is not tan. This is not, something that I've decided to do to make myself look like I've been on a summer holiday. She sat there like that, just staring at me, and trying to in her head you could see it clicking over, it working out. And for the rest of that lesson, she just sat there quietly, thinking it over about what I'd said. The kids as well, they all just got their head down, we better get on with some work, we better do what Mrs. told us to do. And I was going around the classroom and I was keeping an eye on them, obviously, and seeing what they were doing. But when I walked away from that lesson, I was like, wow. Even at the age of 12, 13 years old, bless her, she still had that innocence of not judging someone by their race and not judging someone by their colour. She naively, innocently presumed that I had applied fake tan. And, obviously she must have been impressed. I must have had a really good tan that particular time of year. But it's interesting, isn't it? When you see so many things going on in the world, even now, where people have been racist or judgmental. And it just goes to show you there are still some innocent souls out there. And I hope there's more of them, actually. Take care. Bye.